In today's video, I have 3 shoujo school life romance recommendations for you. 2 of them are completed and then 1 is still ongoing, but they all have a common theme, and that is the fact that they all have a very soft and anxious female lead. All of them suffer with anxiety or overthinking, and it was so refreshing to read stories with characters that get awkward and nervous, as I do in real life. Some of them are so over the top and there's good comedy aspects to it. The male leads are very understanding, they're very considerate, and it's what the anxious and overthinking, clumsy female lead needs. They need that support system, and these guys step up. Out of these 3, I've found my new favourite. I know I think I say this every other video, but the mangas I'm reading this year have just been so good. And one of these, the male lead, he is unbeatable. He is now my favourite top tier school life guy. I love him. I love him. He sets the bar high, people, and I can't wait to hype him up in a second. I'm going to start off with the best manga first, and then I'll go through and end with the one that I ended up not loving. So first up we have When We Shout for Love, and this is by Yuka Kitagawa. She also did Without Love, I Can't Be an Idol, and I reviewed that in a couple videos ago. And that was the first manga I'd ever read from this author, and she hit the nail on the head here. I absolutely can't believe this masterpiece of a manga. It has 3 volumes, it's completed. I wish the story was longer. I left it just, my heart was 10 times bigger. So Mayako, she is our female lead, and she's very clumsy, she's shy, she doesn't really have any friends, and her 2 favourite things are her futon, which she wraps herself up in, and that's her like anxiety coping mechanism. But she also has another love. She is obsessed with this girl pop band, and she learns all the dance moves, they help with her anxiety, etc. Now one day at school, she's on her own, and she's like, a new dance has come out and she wants to practice it. I mean, I literally read that being like, girl, you have anxiety, don't practice this at school. It's gonna not end well for you. But I was very wrong, because she starts practicing at school these killer dance moves. Oh my goodness, sorry. The dance scenes in this really do make me cackle. She gets seen by the lone wolf, Uechiba, and she's like, oh my goodness, what's gonna happen now? He's seen me. He walks over and is like, I love that girl band too. I'm a massive fan. You honestly would not expect it from him, but he's really into it and quite forward, but at the same time, he looks very cold and he doesn't show his emotions much, so sometimes you don't know what he's thinking. And it's about this unlikely friendship forming and our girl growing and gaining confidence. I am in love. This is the cutest, fluffiest story you will ever read. I actually now don't trust AniList, because this was not voted and ranked well on there. What is wrong with people? This is top tier. Mayako is actually so relatable. Like, I think anyone dealing with anxiety can relate to her worries and her troubles, and I love it when she has her anxiety pillow and she goes to it for comfort. The way she finds like happiness in the little things, and then her world is completely opened up by this guy. And I love that there is a foundation of friendship formed before any romance comes into the picture. It's honestly, it makes me so happy even talking about this manga. And she is actually so brave. Like, her confidence grows and she puts herself out there so much. She deserves the world. Now, Uechiba, I absolutely, I'm fangirling over him, but when he goes into his fangirl moment and he's like cheering and he doesn't mind dancing, he knows all the dances, and he's encouraging her to be out there in front of everyone. Like, when they go to this concert, he's shouting and cheering and he's like to her, come on, shout, cheer. Like, this guy, he is the most caring, considerate, lovable character there is. These 2 are perfect for each other. They go to concerts together, they dance together, they learn chants together. Like, they both fall so freaking hard for each other. There's literally a celebrity in this manga, and when she's in front of them, he's not looking at her, he's looking at our female lead. Just watch it. I mean, read it. Read it now. Read it today. It's phenomenal. Next, we have I'd Rather Be in Love Than Cry, and this is by Aki Kusaka, and it's the same author as Let's Do It Already, which I reviewed last week. And I could so tell the art style is very similar, but there's something about the drawing and the emotion and some of the shots drawn in this manga that's just so freaking beautiful. I love it. The eyes, yes, give it to me. Now, this is the one that's ongoing. There's 7 volumes, but only 3 have been translated to English. And the 2 main characters are Hidaka and Minato. However, there is a second male lead, and I think he has potential. Now, this is the most chaotic and rambly manga I think I've ever read. It's insane. And I think some people will be put off by it. We really do get all of her thoughts come out on the page, so be prepared for that. So Hidaka, she has always been that transfer student because her dad has a job that moves about everywhere. So she's never been able to make long-term friends. She's a bit of a loner, and because of that, when she starts a school, she's overly nice because she really wants to make friends, and it can put people off. People call her a try-hard, so she really has struggled with finding her place and finding friends. And this is her first day at a new high school, and she is adamant to make friends. So she's leaving the house, she's having a positive mood, and she bumps in to this guy, and he is wearing the same uniform as her. So she's like, you know what? This is it. This is our moment. This is our meet cute. We're gonna have a really good conversation. This is gonna be my first friend. But it goes very, very wrong. And he is like, who the hell are you? And they end up getting stuck in the elevator and they're late for school. And it's about these two. It's about their friendship and I believe their love story. Hidaka is insanely sweet, but bless her heart, I really, really felt for her throughout this. Like, she has moments where she's trying to make friends in class and then she goes to the toilet because she's so overwhelmed. It's that kind of vibe. And she's really trying to push through, but then at the same time wanting to give herself a break. And luckily, Minato, he comes across as very cold and a bit heartless in the elevator, but then he becomes quite a rock for her and a friend in need. Honestly, he's actually such a gem. I love him and I love her, but she can just be so over the top. And it's one of those situations where it's the story of someone's nice to her and then she falls head over heels for them, which is really annoying. I don't always like stories like that. Even though that happens in this manga, it's talked about pretty early on. He says to her, it's like you've imprinted on me. You're like a duckling and I've been nice to you and now you think you love me, but you don't actually know me. So come on, work through your feelings and let's be friends. Even though it does have chaotic and anxiety riddled pages, it has great comedy because she can really put herself out there and she's very confident and comfortable when it comes to our guy. So the way she acts with him makes him embarrassed, it makes him blush. And so we get to see a different side of him. But there is a second male lead and it's his best friend. I actually can't help but root for the second male lead because of how cute he is. And again, he's really straightforward with his feelings. The communication I think in this is very good. It's not, oh, I'm not gonna confess. Do they like me? Do they not? Everyone says how they feel straight away. So there's not much miscommunication in this, which is so refreshing. Now, let's go to our last manga. Now, this is called I'm in Love and It's the End of the World. And it's by Tamo. It's completed and it has 5 volumes. And why I'm laughing is because the first 2 volumes were great. I loved the story. I was growing to love the characters. But volume 3, I was like, okay, what's happening here? And then volume 4 and 5, this took the biggest nosedive into the trash of any manga I've ever read. The rage, but let me actually describe the story and then I'll rage. So we have our female lead, Mahiro, and then our male lead, Aoi. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that name wrong. Mahiro is a very negative character, and she always thinks if something good happens to her, something bad will happen in return. She has a really negative relationship with her twin sister because she's cuter, she gets more attention, and if our female leaders ever liked a guy, they've end up liking her twin sister. But she starts school and she bumps into a very handsome guy, and he's quite on her tail the first day of school. He's always trying to get in her space, trying to speak to her. She's trying to ward him off because she's literally like, if a guy is nice to me, something really bad's gonna happen. And I mean, in the first freaking volume, whenever they have an interaction, like it rains, they get ill. So she's always having that reinforcement that good equals bad. It's about their relationship. It's about him trying to be there for her and her opening up and getting more confidence. This guy is a patient and respectful king. Like, he admits his feelings to her, but then he doesn't push. He's like, you take your time and you come to me when you have an answer, which is perfect for her. I'm really gonna slate this manga, but I'm gonna quickly say some things that I loved, and I've got a list. So the meet cute between these two was so freaking sweet. I was blushing, and it was just so adorable. Then the blushing, 10 out of 10 blushing. I can't fault it. Then we have, she works through her issues, and it's quite relatable in all honesty. Some people, I mean, she can get a bit annoying, but again, I think her anxiety and the way she views the world is realistic. Like, it's not something you can fix overnight. And then I love their little dates. I did. They have some really adorable moments. And he makes little origami dinosaurs. Now, I love the first volume. Loved it. I even enjoyed the second volume. And the way the first volume ended, I was like, but it does have a few negatives. One of them is that her friend likes her teacher. I hate it when they do this. It's so frustrating. Then the way the miscommunication happens, honestly, this guy goes from being such a good communicator and being really patient in the first 2 volumes, and then what the hell happens to him in the 3rd, 4th and 5th? I have no idea. It was like the author was like, you know what, I'm just gonna change his complete personality. And then the ending of the 4th volume, I actually screamed at the manga. I nearly rage quit this manga. I nearly didn't pick up the 5th. I was like, I have to finish it. I have to finish it so I can let you know if it's worth it. And I probably wouldn't recommend this manga to you. It has good moments, but then the way the story goes, I did not enjoy it. But then I would actually say, read this 2 volumes and then pretend it's over. Pretend you're done with the story and you'll have a great time. Now, I'm gonna say some spoilers now. So if you don't want to hear that, please just skip to the end. But the spoiler is, her twin sister ends up liking her boyfriend. And she ends up telling her boyfriend, I like you, before she even tells her sister. What an a-hole. I couldn't believe it. I was so angry. Don't get me wrong, I feel like our female lead has very negative mindset towards her sister and doesn't treat her sister that nicely throughout. But then, I mean, it all comes to fruition. Like, all of her worries ended up being true. So then I have to give the female lead, like, respect, because you know what? You knew, girl. You knew this would happen, and it did. But then, to put the cherry on top of the cake, he has a best friend, and then he ends up confessing his love for the female lead. What? I can't. And then, even in the last volume, they're both not angry at, like, the sister or the best friend. They're just like, oh, like, it's really brave of them to admit their feelings, blah-de-blah-de-blah. It's like, no, that's really trashy behavior. Also, the male lead is meant to have 5 siblings. We only meet 4. So why mention there's a 5th one? We also never get to see his dad. Like, his dad is a horrible person for the way he treats his family. What is going on? And then the end, when they're like, oh, like, fake marriage situation, I literally was gagging. Like, I was like, ugh. It was just so dumb. It was so dumb, people. Why did the author do this? Please don't do this ever again if you write any more stories. So that is all of the mangas I'll be speaking about today. We have many highs. I found a new favorite, King and Queen. And then we have some, my God, my voice went there. And then we have some lows. But all in all, these were good mangas. And even if the overall story was bad with the last one, the first 2 volumes were so sweet. They really were. So I'll take what I can get with that one. And let me know if you've read any of these and what did you think? Do you agree with me in the order that I put them from best to worst? And if you haven't read them, are you going to read them? Do let me know in the comments below. I'm gonna leave you here now. I hope you enjoyed today's video and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye guys.